There we go. You guys hear me or no? Hopefully. Well, I had one viewer. There's one. All right, just getting set up here. All right, let's get situated here. Where's my mouse? It appears I have one viewer. I don't know who it is. So I am just live streaming for some fun. So hopefully you can come hang out with me. And we're going to look through some pennies. DMC Coins. Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining. I live stream on occasion just because I don't feel like making a full recording and editing it. And I got a bunch of what I believe almost all these should be wheat pennies from the bank today, except this one, which is a 2009 DRS. I'm not sure. I don't know what that means, but these were at the bank today. So this was from a collection dump at the bank. I actually went through a bunch of nickels earlier this week and posted a video on that and came up with a lot of goodies. Yeah, cool. Thanks, DMC Coins. Yeah, the nickel video was fun. I actually have a couple other finds from that video that I can get into here on this one a little bit. Maybe we'll wait and we'll get a few more viewers. But hey, let me ask, do you know much about pennies? Because I can tell you that I don't. So, I mean, like, I know what a wheat penny is. I have some of them. But I, by no means, know what I'm looking for. So I am going to pull up my little red book here. And as we go through some of these rolls, we'll figure out if we have anything interesting. So feel free, leave me something in the chat if there's something in particular I should be looking for. And we'll look for those. And some of these are pretty cool. Like, I don't know if you can see this very well. Unfortunately, this video is really laggy and delayed. Let me see here. This will probably be a little bit better. So like some of these are actually labeled, some are not. These are 1920s circulated. It says number 35 on it. I don't know what that means. Slide this over here a little bit so I can see. And apologies, I'm getting dinged like crazy on my computer here from another app, so I'm going to turn that off. But I got a lot of these things are labeled, some are not. Like this one just says good. Like, I don't know what that means. I guess we'll find out together. I know on the nickels that I went through, the one that said good, they were good. They ended up being all Buffalo nickels with semi-readable dates or close to readable dates. So maybe we'll start with just one of these that's labeled. And I don't expect all of these to be wheat pennies. I know that from the last collection, there were a couple that had newer, more current stuff in it. So, you know, it is what it is. We'll work with what we got. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I got a feeling these are all going to be in the 20s because that's what the wrapper says. So let's see here. Let me look at my red book. I'll hold it right here. So in the 20s, low mintages, we're looking at like 1919D. Well, these are in the 1921S, 1922D. Looks like there's a couple of variants. Any of, let's see here, 1923S, 1924D. So we got a couple low mintages in here we should be looking for. A 1931S, only 866,000 minted. So We probably want to try to find one of those. And 1922, it looks like there's a couple of variants that we should be looking out for. So we're going to do that. Hey, Jimmy, thanks for joining me this glorious Saturday afternoon. Thanks for coming. We're just hunting through some customer wrap pennies. I got a feeling most of these are going to be wheat pennies. And they may have already been searched through. So we may not find anything of any real value. But they should all be wheat pennies. Yeah, look at this. I mean, this entire roll is wheat pennies. So, and I've got my little scope up here so we can go through these together. And I'm not even sure where's the mint mark. The mint mark would be underneath. I might have to change my lighting. It's right in my eyes, but mint mark looks like it's right underneath. So I'm going to just, with these, start stacking them up. And by all means, you don't have to stick around. That's another 29. I'm just trying to get some hours up, and this saves me from having to do another video. And looks like these may have been put in order. And just hang out, and, chat, talk about silver, talk about coin roll hunting, whatever you guys want to chat about. I'm all for it. So 1920. So what I'm trying to do here, I don't know, let's see where you guys can see this. I'm trying to get it up. That's a little too high. So I'm creating little stacks here is what I'm doing as I figure out what they are. Another 20. So Jimmy, I was saying before you joined, I don't really know what I'm looking for right now. I'm just kind of going to go through these and put them in stacks. And, I've already kind of looked through Redbook to see what's out there. And, yeah, this is definitely going to be, somebody put these in order. Oh, they didn't. That's a 29 mixed with a 20. Another 29. I tell you guys what, I mean, if you watch my channel, I do $half more than anything, and getting into some of these smaller coins, especially ones that I just don't know as well, it makes me really want to go back to $half because this is a lot of work. And doing the nickels was fun, at least the first pass, finding the silver in there. But going back through and looking for errors and variants and that sort of stuff and checking all those buffaloes for dates, that was miserable. I spent like 3 hours hunting through, looking under this scope at coins. That was a lot of work. So, and Jimmy, if you know anything about pennies, feel free. Share it in the chat, because I know I don't. Looks like this is almost all 20s and 29s so far. I haven't even found different mint marks. That is a 20, and I might be able to see some of these with just my glasses. Let's see here. Yeah, I can kind of see without my glasses. That's a 29. If I find something different, I'll put it under the scope. That's a 20, a 20, 29. I think that's a 20. Yep. So do you guys know much about war nickels? Guess I can do it more over here so it's in the middle. Sorry. Should look and see what you guys can see. It's another 20. This literally is all going to be 20s and 29s. $29. This is crazy. All 20s, 29s. $29. 20. I haven't even really looked to see how the, what the grading sort of criteria is. I think it has something to do with the leaves on the back side. And of course, some of the detail on our good friend Abe Lincoln on the front. Most of these look pretty well worn. They are from the 20s, so it's to be expected. But this is where I get myself, because I'll end up wanting to go through these a second time for detail if I find anything of any importance. But, live and learn. Like I said, I don't do a lot of pennies. I know my mom gave me a little tin full of stuff years ago, and it had a couple of rolls of pennies in it, and she actually had a pretty good split. So that was all 20s and 29s. So I'm just going to kind of take these and try to start making some semblance of a order for them. Just kind of off on the side. Let's see here. Let's go through this one that says good. Like I said, some of these are labeled. It just says good. It says 4. Maybe it's from the 40s. I don't know. There's an S on there. No idea. Let's check out what good means. I should probably put those back in the... Maybe that's what we'll do first. Let me put these back in this wrapper. 20s first. I did not realize with those silver war nickels, though, that they're like $1.35 a piece, man. That's kind of a lot for a nickel. That's only 35% silver. I can tell you, when I was at the bank, I was, and I first saw they had buffaloes. I had, for some reason, thought buffaloes also had silver content in them, and I was like super stoked, because I knew there were going to be a handful of rolls of buffaloes in what I picked up. So I was excited at the bank and a little disappointed when I got home, because I made the discovery that no, in fact, the buffaloes do not have any silver content in them. So there they all are. Looks like kind of tough to read. Let's see here. We have a 1917. It's almost red. Let's see here. 1917. Double die obverse. This is an ugly coin, and it's beat up. I don't even know where the doubling would be, but let's just give it a quick look. I don't see any. Is that a 1910? That is a 1910. It's not a proof, and it didn't look to be an S, right? That wouldn't be on the back, would it? They wouldn't put a mint mark on the back for some of these. They move the mint mark around sometimes year to year. I was struggling with that on the nickels. Let's see here. It's another 1910. So 1916. Not a proof. No other mint mark, I don't believe. Kind of beat up. Another 1910. So these are a bit older. It'd be cool to find some like Indian head cents in here. That would be pretty cool. Do you either you guys, Jimmy or DMC, like, I mean, you can see the condition on here. These things are not in spectacular condition by any stretch. What do these things go for? Do you know? Are these, 2 cents a piece, 3 cents a piece? Are they, worth the penny that I'm holding on to? So that looks like a 1911. Is that an S? Hang on a second. Might do this with my, well, I can't see it with my glasses. Is that an S right there? It looks kind of like it, doesn't it? I'll put this one here. $1911, $1910. Do I keep all 1982 copper cents? No, I can tell you, I don't actually collect pennies. Typically, like I said a second ago, my mom gave me a 10, and everything that she gave me in that 10 I hung on to. I actually have all kinds of crazy stuff that was in that. Here, hang on, I'll show you. There was a couple of cool things in there. Where'd it go? So, a little off topic here, but so the thing my mom gave me had all kinds of copper and crazy stuff in it. You know, it's just an example. Where's the camera? So, you know, this is a piece, I don't even know where it's from. I think it's a British, it's a 1888 1 penny. I'll put it under the scope here. You really can't see any better there. But there was stuff like this in the tin. And then we had stuff like, let's see here if I can find something that's from the U.S. There was some Canadian money in there. There was Jamaican money in there. We had, this guy was in there. This is an 1810. My camera's on the other side today, and I'm struggling to find it. There we go. So there was this 1810 1 cent piece. So there was cool stuff like that in the tin my mom gave me, and some of it's pure copper. There's some Civil War tokens in here as well that I have. So no, I don't keep them. But you know, if I find anything good in here, yeah, I might keep a roll or two of this just to hang on to it. I know a lot of people do collect this stuff for the copper. I'm just kind of 1918, just kind of hoping to get struck by lightning here and find something interesting. Like I said, and I'd love to find some really old Indian head pennies or something like that. It's 1911. $1917, is that a mint mark? It's a 1917D, 55 million. We'll keep that separate. Looks like an 18. Yep. So apologies, it's going to be really slow. Like I said, I'm just going to do this for a bit, hang out, chat with you guys. If there's any questions you have or anything you want to talk about, man, it's just, you know, better to do it this way and have somebody to talk to than sitting in here talking to myself. That looked like it had a worn off mint mark on it. 1917 S. It's 32 million. In a good 4 condition. It's worth, according to Redbook, 50 cents, but I'm not so sure this would qualify. Is that, you said nice find. Is this 1917D a nice find? Is this a good one? Or sorry, this 1917S? I need you guys' help here. If that's a good one, let me know. It looked like it had a lower mintage than everything else. So, it's a regular 1917. There was a double die on this 1917. Even if I find it, it's such a crappy coin, crappy condition. I'm not sure it would matter. That's the bane of my existence in the halves. Like I'll find a 1974 double die and it's beat all to crap, and it's like, well, you know, what do you do with it? You kind of want to sell it for some money, but it's in such bad shape. I mean, I do sell them. I move them on eBay. And, you know, typically I can get $6 or $7 or $8 for them. It's better than nothing. Better than a sharp stick in the eye. So this big stack here, it's 2018s. I'm not going to call out every date. I'm just kind of putting them in the piles as I get them, and I'm looking for mint marks. And then the ones I can't read, I'm putting under the scope. 197S, even in that condition, is 80 to 90 cents. No way. Nice. Let's take a look at that one again. 1917S. And we got some detail. We got a cheekbone, right? We got an ear. Liberty's clear. The edge is clear. I mean, it's gunky. It's dirty. It's got some scratches on it, but from a definition, it still looks pretty good, right? Still see leaves in the... Yeah, it's not bad. I'm going to put that up on my scope so we don't lose it. Yeah, the 1917S was 32 million, which that's not the lowest, of course, of the S's. There's plenty of S's in here that are like, you know, under 5 million. Here's a 1918S. So that's 34 million as well. But he's really scratched up. That's unfortunate. That's another lower mintage one, but he's like somebody took a knife to him. We'll put him back. Uh-oh. Sorry, I'm losing my live stream up here. I've got my table all turned around, so I don't have easy access to my computer. I've got to reach through. Might have another 1918S. Yes, we do. This one's in a little better condition. The L's missing. We'll keep him. It's another 1917. I don't see any doubling on that. I need one of Rob Fine's Treasures mats, man. Probably should have made just a quick printout of it since I don't have it. Would have been nice because I know he's got some key date stuff listed on that. 1917. No doubling on that. Oh. So 2 left in this roll. It's another 1917. Very beat up. Yeah. Okay, bear with me guys for 1 second because I want to go get I'm going to go get something to just kind of keep these separate as I sort through them so I don't have to do it again. So I'll be back in like 1 minute, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Hey Roy, how are you, bud? So we've got some little bowls to throw these pennies in, so I don't have to sort them again some other time. By the way, can you guys hear me okay? I'm assuming yes. Those are all going in our tens bucket. All right, so now we're going to go into this one. Well, maybe not. It says 1950s. Yeah, we're not going to do that one yet. That's 50s, 50s, 40s. I'm looking for something old. 50s, 50s. This just says number 5. We're going to do this one next. Hey, Coin World UK. How's everybody doing? For those of you just getting here, hey, this is from a customer wrapped drop at my local bank. And I don't really know the first thing about pennies, so I'm looking for all the help we can get, and I'm just kind of going through them and sorting them and checking Redbook for anything interesting. So we're all just kind of hanging out, man. So no agenda today. These came from the same dump that my Buffalo and War Nickel video was from yesterday or day before. So I think it was yesterday. So that's what that is. Just looking for Redbook through the 40s just to see what's low mintage. Looks like 49S. Looks like almost all the S's are lower mintage. And we do have a 44D over S variant that we're going to be looking for, if these are all in the 40s. Yeah, so mainly S's and then that one 44D over S. So here we go. 41. And I'm creating little piles. Hopefully you guys can keep track of where I'm putting stuff. Another 41. That's a good looking wheat penny. 41. Yep. So it's funny because in the nickels, if the from the customer wrap roll, if it said 40s, it was all over the place in the 40s. These the first couple of rolls, it's been kind of not real spread out within that range. If it says 40s, it's like 41s and 49s. Another 41, another 41, and none of these have had mint marks. If you care. So let me know, did you guys see my War Nickel or my Buffalo and Nickel video? Because I've got some questions about those. If you guys happen to catch that video, if you guys know much about them other than which ones are silver and which ones aren't. These are all 41s. Every one of these is a 41. Well, this is kind of boring when they're all the same year. Not even a reason to put them under the scope. Sorry, I'm up a little high. Let me see if I can get down here more on camera. 41. You saw part of that. It is, just so you know, that nickel video is really, really long, and and it's mainly because almost every single roll had silver in it, and almost every single roll had Buffalo nickels in them. So it's a long video to watch, And it was even longer than that before I cut bits and pieces out. I think it was like an hour and 28 minutes or something when I loaded up all the little video clips I had. And I think I got it down to like 50 something minutes. So, you know, apologies for it being long. I'd appreciate you just hitting play and walking away so I get the view time on it. But it's for me, it was cool. It's sort of, the only reason I'm going through these pennies is that I did find a fair amount of silver in those rolls, and I was hoping we might have the same luck finding a few oddities in these pennies. I mean, granted, I think almost everything up here is going to end up being a wheat penny of some form or fashion, which for some people that's enough. You know, it's people collect wheat pennies. You know, for me, I'm looking for, literally this has been an entire roll of 41s. This entire roll was 1941. Not a different mint mark, nothing. Unless the mint mark was somewhere hiding on the back or something. Yeah, so Jimmy, you said dateless nickels go 30 to 40 cents a piece. So I was looking around at that, and I'm hearing everywhere from about 10 to 30 cents on, where did I put that wrapper? 10 to 30 cents on dateless. I would love to get 30 to 40 cents for dateless per coin. I did end up with, I think, 2 rolls or almost 2 rolls. I think it's 2 whole rolls of partial date buffaloes. I know if you watch my video, that's one of the things I may do a little follow-up. I said there were so many that were dateless, and when I went back and put them under the scope, I think I found like almost another entire roll full of buffaloes where you could make out at least the last 2 digits. No mint marks, but you could tell at least that it was a 25 or a 28 or a 19 or a what have you. So like I said, I think I have 4 or 5 rolls, something like that, of dateless, and then now 2 rolls of with dates, which was pretty cool. So that one was kind of boring. That was an entire roll of 41s. I'm actually going to write that on here, in case I do desire to go back through them. So those were all 1941s. I also picked up, I'm not a bill person, but when I went back to the bank today, I went through all of the $2 bills that the guy had turned in. And I mean, I think I pulled out about 10 of them that were fairly pristine. They were the 1976 edition $2 bill. So I think one had a little corner crease and the rest were practically pristine. I don't know if they're worth much, maybe a couple, $3 or $4 a piece, but I picked up like about 10 of those. The guy had turned in 100 of them, maybe 150 of them. So this one just says good, if you guys didn't see it. Just says good. I don't know if that's going to be good or not, but it says good, so we're gonna trust the wrapper. Hiding in the good one is we have a 19. Look at that. We got like some toning. It's a 1956. It's a 1956D. That's actually a great looking coin for a 1956 penny. I can come over here a little bit. What do you guys think about that one? That is some cool toning on that. Let's check it out in Redbook. 56D. They probably made 800 million of them. Oh, I was wrong. They made 1 billion of those, unless there is a shadow on the mint mark. Let's see. That mint mark, nothing looks funny about that mint mark to me. It says D above shadow D. And I am not seeing anything special about that. But we're going to leave that up here with our little ones I'm putting aside. That's another 1956D. So, like, help me out here, guys. I see a lot of, repunch mint marks and those kinds of things on videos. And that, to me, I always struggle with this type of mint mark because it's obviously like a funky, wonky mint mark. It's not right. It's been stretched or the machine hit it funny. But what does this thing mean to you guys? Is this just a regular 56D that's got a machine problem? Or is that something special? I don't know. Look at the detail on the back of this thing, though. Look at that. That's beautiful. Front's not great, but we got a regular 56. There's only 420,000 of those made. It didn't look like doubling on the D. I'll put it back up there. And it could be because I've just got it too small, or I might have to give it a second look. It's just another 56 regular D. But, where'd he go? There's this guy. There's this one. If you just look, that D is really stretched out. It doesn't look like doubling. It doesn't look like a repunch. But it also just doesn't look right. I don't know. Oh, here's another uber shiny one. It's even got some rainbowing on it. 56D. Some beautiful toning on that. Detail on the back. That's a beautiful coin. We'll put that aside too. Probably not worth anything, but it looks pretty, so I like it. So I wonder, do they have a picture of this 56? No, they don't. There's a 55 DDO. I wish I could have a picture of what this 56D above shadow D means. I mean, maybe that's what these are. If anybody in the chat knows, man, speak up. See, they all kind of have that wonky D on them. Be funny if there's a whole roll of those. It says that according to Redbook, which is typically way off, but it says in a very fine 20, that would be a $10 penny. I would be so happy. Hang on. See, that just doesn't look right. I don't know. I don't know if that's a machine problem or what. Yeah, I'm going to have to do more research on these 56Ds. That one's just ugly. Anything else shiny in here? It's got some toning and stuff on it. Which one? The one I just put up? This rainbow one? You talking about this one? It's pretty. That one's real pretty. Now see, that looks like a normal D. If, I've been talking about these. That looks like a regular punch, regular punch D mint mark. And all those other ones look weird. You guys see what I mean? Anyway, what do I know? Well, if any of you guys know, if I've hit the jackpot, yeah, that's what I mean. The other one was stretched. It looked weird. I mean, that one's a little off, but not too bad. Waiting for one of you guys in the chat to be like, yeah, I'll buy each one of those from you for $10 a pop. Send me a check. I'll get them in the mail tomorrow. And those just look normal. I will tell you what I got you. This was, I'm switching gears on you a little bit. This was the coolest war nickel Where'd he go? I got two of them. I don't remember which one of these it was. And the nickels, there is a, let's see here, was it this one? Oh, this was a Type 1 1942. It's a silver 1942 with no mint mark. And I think that's a Type 1, which I had one of those. All the rest of the 1942 silvers had a mint mark. And I think this is the one, this was the repunched mint mark on the P, and it's, or maybe it's not, maybe it's the other one, hang on. I'll tell you in a second, yeah. Just has a little extra foot down there at the base of the P. So that was in there. And then this last one is the 3/2. If I can get it so you can see it. See, if you see that little spike right at the base of the bottom of the 3, that's the 3/2 1943 variant. So I got all three of those in those war nickels. That was pretty cool. That was pretty neat. I was excited to find those. So this is a whole bin full of 1956 Ds practically. A whole roll of them. Now that 3/2 war nickel, apparently, you know, I was looking on eBay in decent shape, which mine's not even in decent shape. I mean, I see those going for $30 or $40 a piece, which that's pretty exciting. I'm going to take it up to my local coin shop and have them look at it and see if they get real excited about it. I mean, I know they're not going to give me what it's worth, but if they get excited about it, at least I'll know I've got something. And apologies, I'm going so slow. This does have a variant of this 56D has a variant on it, so I'm just trying to see if anything jumps out. Like this is a wonky looking D as well. Back to what we were talking about before. It's not doubling. It doesn't look like a normal, you know, press on it, but it also to me doesn't look like a D above a shadow D, according to Redbook. So I'm not sure what that means. Hopefully we find one, it'll be obvious. It's like a 74 DDO $50. You can sit there and say, I don't know what I'm looking for, but when you find one, it jumps out and bites you. It's hard to miss under a scope. So this has been almost an entire roll again of 1956 Ds. We had one regular 1956 without a D mint mark, which I'm guessing is a Philly. That's a regular plain old looking D. That one looks good. I don't know. This is also why I don't like pennies, because I got about 30 more rolls of these things, and we're not going to do them all here today on live stream, but this is more fun than doing it on my own on my kitchen table. That's for sure. More 56s. And that one looks funny too. I'm going to pull that one aside. That one looks just different enough that I'm going to give that one another look once I understand what I'm supposed to be finding. Uh-oh, I lost it. So tell me in the chat if you guys know, what is the 1 or 2 pennies I need to be looking for? Do you guys know? Like in the Buffaloes, it's that 1916 DDO. That's what everything I was looking at after I kind of went through them was, if you can find a 1916 DDO, that's like $1,000 nickel. Go find you one of those. I'm sure there's a handful of pennies out there I should be looking for. Do you guys happen to know what they are? This one has some cool toning on it. Good definition. This is a good looking coin. I like this one. Well, this has been another whole roll of the exact same coin, which that's less fun, but it is what it is. Am I sure that wasn't a 56D? Oh no, it was a 56D too. They were all 56Ds. We did pull a couple, 3 or 4 out of there because they look cool. We'll have the coin shop look at those. Uh-oh. Come on. He did not go in there right. Sorry if I don't do this now, I'll just make a complete mess, so bear with me. $1909 S VDB, a 43S, a 58 double die, a 44 S steel, and a 43 bronze. Those are what I'm looking for, huh? And most people are looking for the 1909, the 1922D, which I haven't, 55 double D, 1914D, and a 1931S. We didn't have a 14D, did we, in that? No, we had a couple of 16s and 17s. I don't think we had a 14D. I'll keep that in mind, though, because we had a bucket of pennies in the teens, I think, before you joined, Roy. There's another one that says good. It's got an 11 on it, and hopefully these will be in the teens. First look, we're in the teens. We're in the 40s. So in the 40s, you said we're looking for a 43S, 44S steel, and a 43 bronze. I don't see any steel in here. So let's see. 46. 46. Now, I don't know what would have made them write good on the outside of that. Let's see here. 46s, 991 million of those were made. $46, 46, 46. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Whoever had collected these, they already did what I'm doing. $46. I got to get over here in the middle. I keep scooting on to the side because my scope's over there. Yeah, so far these are all 46s, guys. Not even different mint marks. Just can't see it. It's a 46. So I think I asked this already and I don't think I saw an answer. Like just a roll of wheat pennies. What are those going for these days? Is it? I mean, I want to say I was watching, I don't know, one of Silver Seeker's channel, videos or something, and I think he said typically a wheat penny goes for 3 or 4 cents on the top end, if it's not something special. Do you guys know? Does that sound about right? I mean, a lot of these are, actually, I shouldn't say a lot of them. Some of these are actually in great shape. Like this one right here, you know, you still have a cheekbone. You've got decent lettering. You've got some detail in the body. I mean, you get on the back, you have all the leaves. I mean, these are not terrible pennies, or at least some of them aren't. I mean, I don't know. Does that make it, is that the difference between it being a 3 cents and 4 cents, or is that the difference of 4 cents and 10 cents? I don't know. $46. We're looking for a 46 S over D is really what we need to find. Oh, I dropped that. I think it was that one. What in the hell? Also a 46. That's a lot of, I know, it's the whole ash roll was 56D, this entire roll. It says good on it. And I would figure good would mean, you know, hey, it's a whole roll of the good stuff. These are all the best ones that I had in my collection. Not, you know, to me, good does not mean, hey, this is a roll of 1946s. But, you know, hey, to each their own. $46. All of these are 46s. No mint marks. Generally, so Jimmy says, yeah, 3 to 4 cents a piece. So that would mean if there's 50 in a roll, you're talking $1.50 to $2 a roll is what you would hope to get maybe in a private sale of wheat pennies. Selling them back to a coin shop, you'd probably get, what, 2 cents? Penny and a half? Because they got to make their money on them. If you sell them on eBay, you're going to give any profit back to eBay. Uh-oh. Fell out of the bottom. Don't forget to mark the roll. So, yeah, oh, no, trust me, I'm going to do it. Yeah, my other ones I've marked too. I have to cross through good. This whole roll of 46s is not good. I was kind of glad in the nickel hunt. I mean, part of you would have been nice to just open a roll and be like, hey, here's $2 whole of silver, right? Because I know the buffaloes, a lot of the buffalo rolls were, you know, either half or almost an entire roll of buffaloes in a single roll. But the silver was really spread out throughout that hunt, which was really kind of nice. So what did we say these were? These were 46s, no mint marks. And then, no, I didn't write on this last one. What was this last one? This last one was the 56Ds, right? So we'll write on those. So we know. All right, so we have 40s. CR. C and R. I don't know what that means. Let's do this roll. How about this one? I accidentally bought this one. It's marked 2009 DRS. Anybody know what RS means? Any clue? I mean, they look like they're pretty close to uncirculated, but I don't know what RS means. That just happened to be in what looked like a customer wrap roll, so I picked it up while I was at the bank. Okay, so let's see here. We got a 42, so at least now we're getting something different. Red Book 42, 657 million of them in good 4 condition. They're saying 15 cents. Not buying that for a second. Pretty much looking for the S's, 44 Ds. And what Roy was kind enough to put up there. Another 42. Watch this. It'll be a whole roll of 42s. Make me angry. Make this the most boring stream ever. 42. 42. All right, we got a mint mark. There's a little bit of excitement. 42D. 206 million. So less than the Philadelphia. We'll put that right underneath. I think that was the right one, right? Yeah. We got another D over here. Yep. I don't see any kind of variant on the 42s, but I'm sure if we go to PCGS, we'll probably find one. That's one thing I'm surprised Redbook doesn't have more of the variants. You can go to PCGS and find all kinds of crazy errors or variants on coins that aren't in Redbook. Okay, so we are well into another roll of mainly 1 year. I think that's a 42. Just want to double check. Yep, 42. 42. And you didn't have any 42s. We're looking for 43s and 44s, right? So here's a story for you guys. There is a silver shop near my house. You know, they deal in silver jewelry, and you know, they'll buy up your silver and make custom stuff with it. And typically the worst place in the world to go and look for silver coins, because they mark everything way up. It's worse than going to a coin shop. Back in August, I went in there and they had two 1986 S proof Silver Eagles, and they wanted, I think, like $46 a piece for them. And at the time, you could find, that's a 42D, you could find, you know, Silver Eagle proofs for $35 or so, you know, if you looked in the right places. And I said, that's a little too pricey, and I skipped it. Well, I went in there today, this morning. He still had both 1986 S proofs in the holders, you know, in the little velvet cases. And I said, hey, I was in here back in like July or August, and these things were like $45, $46. You know, is that what they still are today? Because I'll pick them both up. He quoted me $208 for each one, which is crazy. And I said, well, how are you pricing these? And he goes, you know, I've stopped trying to keep prices on the coins. He goes, whenever somebody comes in, I just check eBay, and that's the number I quote. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, nope, that's how he does it. So this is all 42s and 42Ds, mainly 42s. Back here's my D pile. So that was a little disappointing. I could have picked up both of those things for, you know, 80 to 90 bucks. And to find out he now wants, that's a D, $208 a piece. The ASEs were 1986. They were first year of issue. And like I said, they were still in the U.S. Mint little velvet package. And I haven't gone back on eBay to check to see if he was smoking crack or even looking at the right things. All I know was I wasn't going to part with $208 for a Silver Eagle. I mean, for the proof, I would have paid the $40 or $45 he originally wanted. But not the 208. I mean, had he had one of the new V75 for 208, yeah, I probably would have bought that and flipped it. But not for an 86S proof. So this was all 42s and 42Ds. Did any of you guys get the V75 Silver Eagles? Or the gold? The gold eagle would have been sweet. I had it in my cart. Couldn't check out. Makes me mad because I'd have bought it. And then flipped it for $15,000. That would have been nice. Nope, didn't even try. Well, I can tell you it was the most frustrating experience of my life trying to get one. But I was actually able to get two. I had my mom in on it too, and she got me one. But it was very, very frustrating. But we managed to do okay. I made pretty good money on resale on them, and I got about, I don't know, a bunch of silver for what I sold it for. This says wheat 19. I'm hoping these are in the teens. It could just be the 19th roll. I don't know. We'll see. Nope. This one's a 48, I think. 48D. Let's see here. 48D. 172 million. Says in very fine 20, 10 cents a piece. Which again is make-believe. 48D, did I say that? Yeah, okay, so this is all 48D. So we'll go from there. 48. So we'll put the D's behind the Philadelphias. 48, and that wasn't in our list, right? 58 was in our list. I think that's a D. Oh, no, it's an S. 48S. 81 million. All right, we'll put him aside. We'll put that next to the D's. I like S mint marks. As much as I complain, I was able to get two of the V75s. I tried to get the commemoratives. The commemorative when it came out, and I had it in my cart like instantly, and like so many people, it's a 48S. Like so many people on the V75, they couldn't check out. I was able to get out, luckily. But with the commemoratives, or I think it was the Mayflower, whatever came out the next week, I couldn't get to the final step. All right, there's a 45D. Are we looking for a 45? No, 44, 43. So that is a 45D. 266 million. That's a lot. That silver place you go to is pricing his at the top end of eBay. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I mean, he spent 2 seconds looking at it, and he came back and said, I think 206, and then I teased him, like I said, that's minus 15% eBay fees, right? And he said, oh no, there's some going on eBay for over $300. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt at the 20, whatever it was, 206 or 208. And I told him he was crazy, and I left. Was this a 1941D? We're looking at 128.7 million. Move this right here. And it's this silver place, it's kind of fun to go into because they got a lot of cool stuff. And they do actually have a lot of Morgan dollars and 48. They got a lot of Morgan dollars and peace dollars. A lot of it's common year, but they actually look really good. They've got some good looking pieces. But they want, I think, $39. 41D. What did I say on that one? 128 million. They want like $39 for their Morgans and peace dollars starting. So if they happen to have one that is exceptional from there, it just goes up. I think they had a few in there for like $59 and $69. And I say exceptional, none of them were like mint state or anything like that. But, the ones that looked better than others were even more. And I don't pay more than about $20 or $25 for Morgans. So 48, 48, 48. That also will tell you I don't buy a lot of Morgans because most people want 25 to 30 or more. And I just can't do it. Because when it comes to that stuff, I'm more of a stacker than I am a collector. So for me, it is about getting silver at the absolute cheapest price I can get it. I've actually had silver in my cart all week that I've wanted to buy because it's their pieces, their generics, and their government coins I just want. And I keep backing out because I'm like, stop it. You're buying this silver for the wrong reasons. You're buying it because you want it, not because it's the right price or it's the right thing to do. And so far, I've kept myself from pulling the trigger. So I'm hoping that for Black Friday, I can find some silver at spot deals or some generic bars or rounds, and I'll go spend my money on those and get it out of my head that I need the new Kookaburra or I need the new, whatever. The new 2021 Maple Leaf, because you're spending like $6 over spot, and that's not why I buy silver typically, and it's getting in my head that I want it, and that's the problem. So this was mainly 48s. We did have a couple of D's and S's. I'm going to put these S's aside. These are 48 S's. They're not special, at least not too special. Was that an S? No, 45D. But I am going to put those aside. This thing won't stay open. Come on. In there. You guys still with me? Or are you just helping me get hours? You've hit play and you've gone on and you're watching something on TV now. I'm okay with that, by the way. That doesn't hurt my feelings. Oh, Roy's still here. I can always count on you, Roy. You know what's funny is I had those war nickels Friday, and I thought about doing a live stream, and because I was like, I know Roy will come hang out because he's still at work. I'll do it after work stream. Roy and I'll hang out while I open nickels. Hey, Jimmy, thanks for saying you're still here. Appreciate it, man. I thought about it, and then, oh, you're working today. You're working from home with the Winky. There you go, Winky from working from home. So these were mainly, I'll just say 40s, mainly 48. And I know that roll's light, so I'll put it sort of somewhere separate because I got some fines out of there. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I've got a bunch of these. You guys can't see them. I still have 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have like 15 more of these to do. Actually less now because this one says 2014, so I'm not going to get into that. That one says 2016, so we're not going to get into that. I got a lot that say the 50s. This one says wheat 10. This says 1940s. This thing says +1. I don't know what that means. 2016D. So we have less than that. So those I shouldn't have bought. Looks like most of what's left is going to be in the 50s. Got a couple that say they're from the 40s. Just W, hey, thanks for coming to live stream and hanging out. I'm just talking, opening wheat pennies. So thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Feel free to put whatever you like in the chat, man. 1945 to start off this roll. So we're still in the 40s. 1 billion 1945s. And we're not getting rich with 1 billion of them out there. Watch, this will be a whole roll of 45s. The reason there's a billion of them out there is I have most of them right here in this roll. 45. 45. 45. Not even new mint marks, just 45s. What are you up to today, Just W? Are you quote unquote working from home like some of the others? I have all week off. So I had to work a little bit this morning. I had to take a couple of phone calls. And then I had a little emergency I had to put out around lunchtime. But other than that, I've been chilling at home. So these are all 45s, guys. Sorry, I'm not calling out too much because they're all the same. So you guys ready for COVID to be done or what? I know I am. It looks like it's just getting worse. I'm super excited for it to be over. Hopefully we'll get one of these vaccines in here and people will actually take it and it'll actually work and not kill people and we can get back to life as we know it. That'd be a wonderful thing. Oh, mostly at home. Saw me streaming. Well, that's cool. That means you turned on notifications. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, these are all 45s, man. It's like watching paint dry when they're all the same. Yep, that's an entire roll of 45s. Not even a different mint mark. Yeah, my wife got on me yesterday because I spent like 2 or 3 hours going through those war nickels and the buffaloes and all that stuff. And she's like, you plan on doing anything productive today? And I was like, nope. This is what I had on the schedule for Sunday, was literally going through every one of these nickels for errors and variants and making sure I had what I had. So I watched this new show on Netflix. I think it's called Forged with Fire, something like that. And it's like all other game shows, right? It's contestants come on, they give them ridiculous challenges, and they vote people off slowly throughout the course of the show until there's a winner at the end. But what's cool about the show is it's all forge masters. So they end up making knives and swords and daggers and throwing knives and all that kind of stuff. And, the challenges are pretty out there. And it was actually a lot of fun to watch. I watched almost the entire last season in one sitting while I was going through nickels. All right. So I think we have one more 1940s, and then the rest all say 50s. Nope, I got 2 1940s. And one that just says 14 on it. I don't know what that means. Oh, no, I got 3 1940s. 4 1940s. I'll put those on the end so I don't have to keep looking for them. Working from home since 3/16/2020. That's about when we came home too, man. I can't remember the exact day, but they sent us all home sometime in March. And I have not been back. So this is a 46. Almost a billion of these. I'm going to spot check here. If it looks like this is another whole roll of 46s, I'm not going to go through them because I don't want to do it myself and I don't want to bore you guys with it. So that little section was all 46s. I think that says 46. So yeah, what's funny is like, even in July, we had people going, oh, well, you know, in August when this is all over. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. You mean in August when this is all over? Have you been looking at the data? Have you been listening to the news? Have you looked at anything out there? This isn't over. All right, so these look like they're all 46s. Although there is a 46S. As much as I don't want to go through them all, I'll see if I can go as quickly as I can, just looking for mint marks. Yeah, so those people they all made fun of me when I said stuff like that, and now they're all like, yeah, you were right. I don't know what we were thinking when we said things would be back to normal in August. We were crazy. We found a mint mark. I guess that was a better answer to the wife when she asked that is nothing. She said, say you did that yesterday. Then you reply, I'm not done yet. That's true. There's a lot of truth to that. She says, what are you doing now? I say, I didn't finish yesterday. I still got more coins to look at. I do remember when I first started going through $half boxes. I don't know how long you guys have been following me, but I was watching people, Rob Finds Treasure and whatnot on YouTube. Man, these guys, like every box, these guys were pulling, 10, 15, 20, 30 silvers out of every box. And I'm like, that's cool. I can do that. That'll be fun. And this is even before I had a channel, honestly. And I got one box and we didn't find any silvers. I got another box and we didn't find any silvers. And we got another box and didn't find any silvers. And then it was like, I was chatting with, I don't know, Robin Hood Coins or one of them. And he's like, hey, a lot of it is you just need to you got to get a bunch of boxes because, you want to find that sweet spot for a dump. Okay, so then I think I went and I ordered like 8 or 10 boxes from the same bank to be delivered the same week. So I was like, it's kind of like the lottery ticket mentality, right? You can buy one ticket and not win, but if you buy 10 tickets, you'll probably win at least once. And that was kind of my thought with a box of $half. And I tell you what, I went through all 8 boxes and did not find a single silver. It was so disheartening. And my wife was finally like, would you give it up? I was like, no, because it's a lot of fun. It's disheartening to not find anything, but it's still fun because one day I will find something. And I still haven't had great success, but I've had a lot of fun doing it. And I've actually gotten my daughter into helping me, as you guys might have seen on some of my live streams. My son, no interest, but my daughter's been hanging out with me doing it. So to me, it's all worth it. I was all 46s. There was one D in there. I'm not going to mark it. This one also says 40s. But yeah. Right now my problem is I can't get the I can get them now sometimes ordered faster than I can get them returned, and then sometimes I can't get them ordered fast enough. Meaning like I'll go to 2 or 3 banks and order a bunch and then none come in. So these are all 45s so far. So it's just like I kind of go through feast or famine with $half boxes. Like I didn't get any this week. That's not true. I got one box because the bank had it. And they were all cut up the side. So I searched it off camera because it took 5 minutes because somebody had already cut through them and checked them. So there was nothing in there. What in the world is this? Yeah, it's the slot machine mentality. That's exactly right. Yeah, if I pull the lever once, I'm not going to win. But if I pull it 100 times, I'll win something. Now, the question is it a jackpot? Or is it, you know, the money back for that one pull? And we are all hoping one day that it's going to be the jackpot. 45s. Yeah, this is all 45s, guys. Now, this I kind of don't get. I mean, if I were a collector, I don't know why I would have rolls and rolls. Now, there's a 46. I don't know why I would have rolls and rolls of the exact same mintage unless I was just you know, holding copper. And if I were holding copper, I don't know if I would hold it in these rolls. I would probably just throw it in a bag. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe the rolls are better to store. I'll tell you the other funny thing, though. This bank that I got these from, the tellers are in on it, man. They know. Because when I pulled the nickels, they were like, there's no money in those nickels. I was like, I bet there is money in these nickels. And they all started telling me about what pieces of this guy's collection that got dropped off that they had already bought up. And it was mainly the bills, silver certificate bills and old style $50 bills and stuff like that the tellers bought up. They didn't know enough to look through the change. All right, that was all 45s. No fun. So I told them at the bank to cut that crap out. They need to hang on to that stuff for me. And they all laughed at me. So now that they know there's money in the coins, they're probably going to start doing their reading. I'd love to start doing some quarter hunts, but I'm struggling to get quarters. None of the banks here will give me quarters. They all keep playing the shortage game with me. I think those were all 45s. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, every time I go in for quarters, they're like, yeah, sorry, we can't give you quarters. We're still coin shortage. These they gave me because they were customer wrapped that were returns. They weren't ordered from the mint. And I also told them if I didn't find any value in them, I was going to bring them back. Okay, I saw a 44D in here, so I got to scroll up here. What am I looking for, Roy and Jimmy? You said there is a 43S, a 44S steel, and a 43 bronze. So we've got some 40s in here that aren't the 45s. This is a 44D, 430 million. And there is a D over S variant, so we got to look out for that on the 44. 45. 45. A 46S or D? That's an S, I'll pull that aside. No, it's a 45D. I can't read. Getting old. 45D. 45. So I'm hoping it, because that 44 I pulled out of the middle, I'm hoping as we go down this roll, we get into the 44s. All right, there's a 45S. There is an S over D variant. Oh no, that's on the 46, my bad. 181 million on the 45S. And whatever, we'll pull that one aside just for fun. That's a 45D. 45D. D, 45D, D, 45D, 44D. Yeah, the 44D, D over S. Let me put that back on there just to make sure. That doesn't look like there's an S in there. You guys yell if you see something that I miss, all right? Don't leave me hanging. If I'm going too fast, let me know. There's another 44D. Now, wait a minute. Was that 40? It's a 46. Okay. 44D. That one's all beat up. That'll be my luck because I'll find that D over S and it'll all be chewed up. All right, so at least if they're 44Ds, we got something to look for, which is nice. Oh, 380,000 estimated value of the 1944 S Lincoln Wheat Penny steel cent variety. Yeah, let's find one of those. That's what we're looking for now. We're not leaving until I get one. $44D. Thank you, Roy. That just made my day. There's a 41S. Kind of came out of the blue. 92 million of those. And there's a footnote. Large and small mint mark varieties. I don't know if that's a large or small. We're going to pull that aside and compare if we happen to get two of them. Well, there's two of them, back to back. Whoop. I can't get them both in camera at the same time. I'm going to guess that's the small. I'm going to guess that's small. That D looks like it's got a unicorn hat on. All right, there's another 41S. Now let's compare that real quick. They look different in size to you guys? Here, I can probably put them up on top of each other. One will be a little out of focus. Well, one's closer than the other one, so this isn't really a fair comparison. I can't tell if they're different size or not. We got a bunch of 41S's though. I'll take them. The next thing I'm going to have to do is go and read up on the. I have to go and read up on the how do you grade one of these. Like, and I've talked about this earlier. Like, is it the cheekbone? Is it the hair detail? Like, what are the things that take this thing from a very good to an extra fine to you know? I mean, I don't think anything I'm going to have in here is mint state. I'm not crazy. Nothing in here has jumped out. Although, if you weren't here earlier, we had a couple of 50s that came, you know, this 56D with some toning on it. I mean, granted, it's got some crud and whatnot, but it's a beautiful coin. This one might be the one that was... And that's a 56D wheat penny with amazing detail. Something like that, I mean, maybe not mint state, but it's up there. Hit me one time with this 44D over S. Come on now. That one's so bad you can't even see it. I think I've screwed up my 44 pile. I think my D's are supposed to be down here, but it doesn't really matter. The simple guide is in the red book that you have, yeah. I've read so many times that red book is, you know, the prices are sort of not reality. Yeah, I read your comment there, just W, about wishing we'd, you know, done it when we were younger kind of thing. I got into coin collecting very briefly as a child, and I remember starting to get pennies and go through them, and I probably went through 5,000 pennies and could never find anything of any value, so I quit. And I'm kind of kicking myself for it, because I think it's a great hobby. And, you know, just the reality is, you know, if you're doing it because you think you're going to find that $1 million coin, stop, because you're probably not going to do it. But there's a lot of little errors and variants that are out there that are plentiful enough that you may find them one day, you know. 44S, yeah. So we got a couple of these now. It's kind of like lottery tickets. If you're playing a lottery ticket thinking you're going to hit the $18 million jackpot, save your money. Understand that you might hit 100 or 500 pretty regularly, but even the S's on these 44s look off. I'm going to keep those separate and see if maybe there's something in PCGS that is a variant of some kind. A bunch of 44S's now. Oh, there is a simple guide to grading is in there. Yeah, I've just not, maybe I just haven't looked at it. A lot of times I look at YouTube videos and stuff like that. Like I've watched the whole PCGS guide on grading Morgans. I would need to watch it again because it's been a while since I looked at it. And I know generally what they want you looking at, but at the same time, it's good to know the specifics. A lot of 44S's in here. I don't think the 44, no, they didn't have a large or a small. Another 44S. And another 44S. I'm going to put those aside. The rest of these will go back in the bin. Oh, it is. Grading guide is before the prices. All right, I'll check that out. Yeah, I usually just use this thing for a general price guide and mintage numbers. So that's good to know. Thanks, Roy. And I'm lazy too. When I find stuff that I know has potential value, I always take it up to the coin shop, and I'm sure they're sick of seeing me, but I'm not afraid to go up there and just go, hey, what is this? And I will tell you, they've led me astray before too. I'll tell you guys another little story. So I took this piece up to the coin shop, and it's in a flip. Here, let me take it out of the flip. It'll make the story better. This is, I can't remember the name of it. It's some sort of Spanish 1868 coin. And the guy dug and dug and dug, and it's actually been drilled to make a necklace out of it. You see the hole. It's a Spanish coin. And the guy dug and dug and dug, and he made me go get a flip, and he put it in, he started writing, and he said, what you have there is a 1868 Spanish 10 escudo piece. It is a 1/4 ounce of 0.9% gold. And I was like, you're absolutely kidding me, because this was in that jar of money my mom gave me. He didn't weigh it, he didn't measure it or anything, and I got home and started doing some reading and got it under the scope, and if you look in the hole, if I can get it right, you can see it's different material inside. So this thing's actually just a token that they're cheap replicas. They're worth about $7 or $8. At the coin shop, they had me believing this was, $500 worth of gold. So they can lead you astray. They're human too. That's what they thought it was. I was quite disappointed though when I found out that I had what I thought was like a little bronze coin that I then found out was gold, that I then found out was more or less worthless. Hurt my feeling. All right, so we have now we'll see where we start here, 1940. That's where this one's going to start. No mint mark. 1940, 586 million, 15 cents in good for condition. So 40D. 40D, where are we at here? 81 million, a lot less. Oh, Mad Stacker. How's it going, Mad Stacker? Thanks for coming in. That's funny. So the only ones you have left are collecting on old people's collections as they die. That's terrible. That is terrible. We got a 47. 190 million. VF20 is worth 10 cents. How are you doing, Mad Stacker? We're just hanging out here watching me open some customer wrapped wheat pennies. I got a bunch of rolls of them. It's been hit or miss on what's been inside. We've had a lot of rolls that are all one coin inside of them. This is a 40S, 112.9 million. Put that next to the D. You know, we're hoping to find that $700,000 coin in here, but I'm not hopeful. So it's a 41, no mint mark. $41, no mint mark. I just figured this was a better way to go than try to film doing all this and then editing it together. That would have been painful. This is a 42, 657 million of these. That's a lot. I hope the next coin that's coming out of this is a good one. It's a 42, right? 1942. That's a 41, 42. Oh, please. Oh, look at this. Look at this. That has to be polished, right? Oh, where am I? Sorry, there's a lag. That has to be a polished coin. Right? You guys help me out here. That's been cleaned. 1942. Spit shined. If you called that Mint State 63, it's worth $2, but that has to have been. Oh wow, 110 miles away. Seriously, you guys seeing this? What in the hell am I looking at here? Has it been gilded? Has it been polished? Yeah, it looks buffed. That's what I was going to say. It's like somebody did something to that one. I got another one in here. I'm going to sneak down in the middle. It's a 1944. Get it under the scope. I mean, that just... It just reeks of someone polished it. I mean, it's still got lots of great detail on it. The wheat ears blended. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, somebody polished the crap out of this one. Sorry. Almost said a no-no word according to my kids. $44. What was this one? $47. $44. $44, and remind me, guys, we're looking for like a $44, yeah, D over S. God, that $44, 1.4 billion of those things made. Good God. Why would you keep more than one? $44. The layout, I don't necessarily like my layout, but I knew I was going to be putting a lot of stuff on scope, and I wanted to make it easier for me to see and for you. So apologies if it's not great for you with the coins down here, not under the scope. Maybe used a jeweler's rag. Yeah, that could have been it. Or some Brasso or something. I bet they took some Brasso to it. That'll do that to copper, won't it? These are all 44. I think I see a couple more shiny ones in here too. These are all 44s so far. The last 10 or 15 coins. Take care, my friends. Be well, safe. Jimmy, hey man, thanks for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Sorry we didn't find too much cool stuff, but we did find a couple of neat things. It's just a 45. 45, we got 1 billion of those. Literally, they made 1 billion of them. I wasn't making a joke. According to Redbook. Another 45. I think that's a 45, if I'm reading that right. 45. 45. All right, we're back into the shine. Look at that. They just destroyed this thing. Awful. Should be shot, whoever did that. And I'm all for dipping some silver in some Easy Est or MS70, but come on, man. The other shiny one was another just flat 45. It's a 46, no mint mark. 991,000 of those. Well, it's unfortunate. Like my first 2 rolls, we had a bunch, or I guess we had a roll or 2 of them that were all in the teens. And so far, the 40s are the only ones we can find. Those were actually 48s, those last couple. What was this one? It was a 44. I don't know how it ended up over there. Okay. And we had a bunch of 44S's, right, that I pushed aside. Okay. Let's get those back in a roll. We'll keep going. I think we have 1 more 40s to go, and the rest are all in the 50s. Yeah, everything else looks like it's marked for the 50s. Oh, is there anything worth looking for in the 50s, guys, or should I call it after doing the 40s? They aren't too worn. A little cleaning is fine with me, but when you see, oh yeah, no, I mean, somebody beat the crap out of these things. Yeah, my local coin shop actually has riot gear in it. He has brought like stuff to blockade up the, he's got a gate on the store anyway. Then he actually brought riot gear, and he keeps all of his guns in the store for that same thinking you guys are talking about here. 42 that I think I missed. But he's got a ton of gold and silver in his place, though. He should always have that stuff, I'll be honest. My local coin shop. They got amazing stuff in there, but you pay for it. All right, last roll of something marked 40s, and then we're into the 50s. Like I said, I'm happy to call it at that point if there's nothing too interesting in the 50s to be looking for. And again, we'll spot check these to make sure we don't have, oh, actually this one already is a 50. All right, so somebody lied. That's a 50, a 56. Might be a 56S. No, 56D. That one a D too? Yeah, they were both Ds. Not sure that is legal in California. What's not legal in California? Having guns in your store? These are all 56Ds, guys. Actually, let me look, make sure there's nothing I should be looking for. Oh yeah, these 56Ds did have that D shadow bit. I'm gonna have to put these under the scope. On eBay selling Warren Walkers, every one of them completely clean. I'm thinking he did that himself, thinking that he would get more money from them. They looked horrible. I hear steps coming down in the basement. Sorry, I'm just rechecking these 56Ds because there is a variant. That weird looking D again. So, let's see here. Yeah, okay. Saw that last one. He should be on Etsy. Better prices. That's funny. You know, I actually had that thought of taking some of these war nickels that I found and selling them as like pieces of war history, and that there was a limited supply and, you know, something like that, and putting them for like $1,000 a piece or something on Etsy just to see if I got any bites, because people do that crap all the time. So for anybody new to the stream, what I'm looking for here is they say the 56 has something called a D over D shadow, or D above D shadow. D above shadow D, sorry, on the 56D. I'm not sure what that really means. So there seems to be two different types of Ds on all of these. And I'm just not sure what I'm looking for. So if you do, speak up in the chat. This is another beautiful 56. I'll put it up here in our other really beautiful 56 pile. And just to show you guys the back of that one. It's beautiful. I mean, granted, it's grungy, but if you look at the detail in it, it's amazing. Yeah, silver. I've caught a couple of them. I haven't seen all of them, but my favorite is, he did one not too long ago where he said, how long I think will it take me to spend like $100,000 on coins on Etsy, or maybe it was $500,000 or something. And he thought, it's going to take him forever, and he did it in like 4 coins. It was hilarious. They could be money launderers, I mean, honestly. They very well could be. I mean, at the end of the day, though, somebody still has to pay taxes on that sale. There's a record of it, So if they were laundering money, I'm sure there's better ways to do it, I guess. Sorry, guys. We seem to have had, 2 or 3 rolls of this 56D. I'm getting kind of sick of looking at them, but I guess I'll be less sick if we actually find a variant that any one of us can agree is actually a variant. Yeah, it was a funny video Seeker did. He does some really good stuff. I like Silver Seeker a lot. I try to interact on his live streams as much as I can, and I think he's a good guy. Although his video today about the tracking your stack online, I'm sure that'll be met with real mixed reviews, because I know a lot of the coin collection community doesn't want any record of their stacks. The gold and silver stackers. And I know the program that he was kind of helping pitch, or a friend of his made, or whatever it was, I don't remember the details. You don't have to give any real personal information to create an account, but at the same time, why would you chance it, So I think it's a cool idea, though. I think it's a cool program. If it were me, I probably would have made a mobile app and then made it so all of the information stayed on the phone. Look at that. What is that? That is Cancer Lincoln. It's possible, but look at that. He does. This dude's got cancer. He's got like melanoma growing out of his face. I don't mean that to make fun of anybody. How do you do that to a coin? Oh, I see. Somebody took like a punch to it. They did it on the back too. That's crazy. You are right, Roy. It's possible that I'm just duplicating effort here. That is entirely possible. I just don't even, I need to look it up. Hang on guys, I'm going to look that up. I don't know what happens to my computer when I start going somewhere else, but penny 56D over shadow D. Oh, we're not even looking in the right spot. Okay. So what it looks like, apparently, is I haven't even been looking in the right spot. I'm not going to go back through all of these. And I don't even know how you'd see it. You would see, and I'll try my fingernail, like you would see a D where the tip of my fingernail is. So you're not looking for something in the D itself. You're actually looking for another D, you know, right where my fingernail ends. So there's like two visible Ds. That's what you're looking for. And honestly, I haven't seen anything like that jump out at me. I probably, as I was saying earlier, you don't know what it means until you see it. When you see it, you know it. By the way, this wrap said 1940s on it. That was the only reason I opened it. So we should all get together and open an Etsy store. We'll sell these 56Ds and say they're all special. $50,000 a coin. Got 10 rolls of them. I will go back here in just a second before I'm probably actually not even going to get into these 50s, guys. But, or I will, just not on live stream. I'll go back through the couple of things I pulled aside that maybe we found before you guys joined. And we can talk about whatever you like. If there's anything you want to see or have any questions, I might maybe show off a couple of silver pieces I have. If you want to see them, nothing out of the ordinary, really. And then I might call it a day. Well, I do want to show you the Buffalo. I pulled a Buffalo nickel. Yes, missing the shadow D. Did I miss one? If so, I'll keep these aside and we'll go back through them. So Roy, you said yes, missing the shadow D. Did you see one? Did I miss it? Oh, yes, missing the shadow D. I got you. That's funny, Roy. We'll list all of these as the special 1956D, missing the shadow D. That's what makes them special. That's right. That would be hilarious. We'd sell them like hotcakes. Okay, maybe not, but it'd still be funny. All right. So I think I pulled one penny out of there. I'm not real bent out of shape of a penny roll being a couple short. So I've got a bunch of stuff here pulled aside from the earlier, I shouldn't say a bunch, probably about 10 pennies pulled aside from earlier rolls. And for those of you that weren't here, I'll show them off real quick. I say show them off because those are all those 44 S's. It's nothing too crazy. So this was mainly 56Ds, right? I'll put that on there. So early on, we did find a 1917S, and we did pull that because only 32.6 million in circulation, and for a good 4, it said they're about 50 cents. And we actually had decent detail, I think, still on here. So I thought that was pretty good. You've still got, you know, some detail in the leaves. You know, I guess the little reeds here. I mean, it's not a great coin, but for a 1917, it's not terrible. So that was one we pulled aside. We had a 1918S, which was also a, let's see here, 34.6 million, also 50 cents at a good 4 grading. Not as good as the last one. A lot more wear. But it seemed like it was a little bit lower mintage. We did have a couple of these beautiful 1956Ds that I kind of showed off just a second ago. And it's tough to see, but they've got a little bit of kind of rainbow tinting in them. Rainbow sort of toning in them. It doesn't show up well under the scope. Actually, I should check. Does this one have a shadow? Let's check for the shadow. These could go for a fortune on Etsy. No. We ended up with 3 of these in really, really good shape, and they don't look like they've been polished. So those actually looked pretty good. Then I had a small stack of 48S's that I just put aside because they were a little bit lower mintage. I had a 1956. Oh, this was one of the ones that had a wonky D. Now we know what it is. I can go throw that away. We don't care. Let's see here. I have a 45S. I don't remember why I pulled it. I think it was because it was the only one we found. And then I have a bunch of 44S's and some 41S's that, again, they were just lower mintage. So that's the main stuff we pulled today. So not terrible. I mean, even if some of those coins are only 40 or 50 cents a piece, I mean, they're pennies. So that's, you know, that's 50 times the money in my opinion. So not too bad. And I still have 5, 6 rolls to go through in the 50s. I won't subject you guys to that. I'll do that separately. Before I go, I did show off some of the war nickels. Oh yeah, I did want to show, I wanted to show my, I wanted an opinion really more than anything. So here's 2 of the Buffalo nickels. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, it's not this one. I think it's this one. And I might not be able to make it big enough to see. So did my scope just get a lot bigger for you guys? And it could just be now I got more light on it. Both of these look like they had just a little bit of, this one looked like it had a little bit of doubling, I think. Like on the feathers, ever so slightly. So that feather just along the right-hand edge looked like it had just a little bit of doubling. Unfortunately, there's no date, and what you'd be looking for is like the 1916. And it looks like there's just a little bit of doubling on the chin, but I'm not seeing it as much now that I have way more light on it. And this one, I had doubling the other direction. So if you look on the left side of the leaf here, there looked like there was some doubling that's not supposed to be there, even up there. And again, unfortunately, there's no date. If this was a 1916, I would start getting really excited. And then unfortunately, it's crappy over there. So I was going to take those up to the coin shop, have them take a look, you know, tell me if they were just plain old Buffalo nickels, dateless. If they were, so be it. Anyway, those were 2 of the Buffaloes. I'm trying to think what else. I think I showed you guys the war nickels, the 3 finds on the war nickels. Now that I've made the scope bigger, that 3/2 variant is a little easier to see. Again, I got my handy dandy little thingy here. God, it's so slow. Come on. Why isn't it catching up? Am I behind? Come on. That's still streaming and that isn't. There it is. So if you look right there, right where the tip of my thing is, you can see the little bar coming out. That's the 3/2 variant on this 1943. I looked on eBay, one of these in really good condition. I say really good, in decent condition, going for $30, $40. This one is just not. The way they do a lot of the grading on these is how much of this building you can see on the back, and do you have steps, and you can't even really make out the columns under the scope. So this one's in pretty crap condition. Yeah. The coin shop may tell you have a rare gold Indian coin. Be careful. That's true. So I do want to ask them what they think, something like this is worth in the condition it is. It's worth $1.36 in silver. I'd love to hear them tell me it's worth $10 or $12 or $15 in numismatic. That'd be super. And then the same thing, I think it's this one. No, it's not this one. This type 1, I'm curious. That should have a P over top of the Washington Monument there, or whatever that is. What is that? Over the White House, whatever it is. It's not there. And this one, and maybe I grabbed the wrong one. I know I saw it yesterday. I think I grabbed the wrong one. I've got one of these that has the little jut out of the bottom of the P. I think I grabbed the wrong one. But that's got a mint mark error, a repunch mint mark error. This is just the wrong one. So I've got to go back and look at my stash and pull it out. But those came out of the war nickel hunt. Yeah, Monticello, thank you. I knew that. I should know that. I'm trying to think what else. If you guys want to know what a V75 looks like after you sell it, after you sell a V75, it looks a lot like this. Hang on. Gotta get on camera. Sorry, I hadn't planned on doing this, so I'm having to grab a bunch of stuff. So that's what I got for the money I made out of one of my V75s, which I thought was a pretty good trade-off. I thought that was a pretty good trade-off for all that silver. And I was kind of super excited about these. Actually, these ended up being pretty. It's a 1921 Morgan. I don't see a mint mark on it, but maybe it's on there somewhere. I don't see it. It was a 1921. I got an 1896, which is kind of a weird toning on that, or I don't know, discoloration. It weighs out right and it sounds right. So I don't think it's a fake. A 1921, another 1921, and then a 1922 S peace dollar, which is not in the best of shape, but it's still a peace dollar. So not too shabby. I'll take that all day. So So what else, guys? I'm here. I'm about to shut us down, but whatever. Let me know what you want. Otherwise, I'm gonna head out for the day. A couple of these Kennedys that came in that were just absolutely gorgeous. That's a gorgeous Kennedy. Gorgeous Kennedy. I mean, these might have been dipped. Maybe. But just gorgeous Kennedys. So I was very pleased with that transaction. That worked out. All right, guys. Well, I don't see any more questions. I don't think I have anything else to share. So thank you for coming and spending, I don't know how long it's been, quite some time with me today. And going through these pennies. And I might make a little video if we find anything cool in these 50s. Otherwise, you guys have a great week. For those of you working from home, enjoy working from home. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next live stream or maybe the next video. So take care, guys. Really appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving, by the way, if I don't see or if I don't post anything else on YouTube. So take care.